Some people work with their hands, making things. Other people work with their minds, thinking, contemplating, evaluating. And when we do these things with passion, we're working with our hearts. And something that we often don't realise or forget about is that we also work with words. And there's a way to do that. And to share with us the secret of working with words, let's welcome Peter Cesco.
I recently received a DVD that advertised a series of programs about ancient civilizations. In that video, the narrator used statements like, "I'm thrilled that you've decided to view this video. You'll see some exciting and amazing extracts in this new series. It will entertain, educate, and excite your family." As Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters and speech crafters, the lady narrating the DVD was using the power of words to sell the visuals that were to follow. She used words like thrilled, amazing, and excite to prepare the vision for what was to come. Were they big words? No. Were they words that were hard to pronounce? No. Were they unusual words? No. They were simply powerful words. Let's think about what I just said. Powerful words. What are powerful words? Powerful words are words that, carefully selected in the correct place, will send a message. The right word at the right time will have the right effect. Listen for the powerful words in this famous saying. One small step for mankind, one small step for man, one giant leap for mankind. Small step, giant leap, powerful stuff, isn't it? Who will ever forget Neil Armstrong's famous words as he stepped on the moon? Were they big words? No. Were they hard to pronounce words? No. Were they unusual words? No. They were simply powerful words. And powerful words are words that are used to appeal to the imagination, create pictures in your mind, create a need or want. For example, relax. Place your hands on the table in front, flat on the table in front of you. Place your hands flat on the table in front of you. Close your eyes. Breathe in deeply and listen to what I'm about to say. Harmony. Poise. Tranquility. Okay, open your eyes. Did those simple words create an appeal and picture in your mind? They did, don't they? They projected perhaps a feeling of serene satisfaction and relaxation. Were you relaxed at the end? Because that's what words can do. They can do a lot more than that. So far, we've explored what we can do with words. Logically, now we must find some way to determine what words to use. Seems logical, doesn't it? Firstly, we should use descriptive words. Descriptive words are generally short and concise. Anybody ever seen the movie Volcano? You can imagine what it's about. In the ad for the Volcano movie, it said, "A raging volcano pulses to the surface, raining a storm of deadly fireballs and an endless tide of white-hot lava." Does that not set the scene for what's coming? It does, doesn't it? They're simple words. Here's some example simple words. Use the word do instead of accomplish. Do instead of accomplish. Try instead of attempt. Place instead of locality. They're simple words, aren't they? They're descriptive. They will help you. Simple, simple, simple. And the sentences should be simple too. Instead of something like which happened was in a government document after the floods in Queensland. You will receive reactivation and assistance consistent with your requirements. Government speak, okay? Why not say you will get the help you need? Which is more descriptive? Which is the one with more power? when you're using descriptive words, remember not to use jargon, especially technical terms, and slang, like incongruity. People may not understand, or only partly understand what the word is, and then they spend their time trying to work out what it means, instead of listening to you and your story. So if you're going to use unusual words, you are going to force the audience to think about what it means, and you will lose your message. Yes, incongruity means when things don't match. For example, if someone said with a tone dripping with sarcasm, "Good job," that would send incongruity, wouldn't it? You're sending one message with the word and another message with the way you said it. So you may not believe that message. You must also remember to use language and words that are absolutely appropriate to the audience. Tyres, chains and motors may be appropriate to the Association of Motorcycle Fanatics, but not to the Ladies' Genteel Dancing Society of Queen. Okay, so use the appropriate words. Think who you're talking to and be descriptive in that context. Now, is this descriptive? Scintillate, scintillate, diminutive asteroid. How I meditate on your precise constitution. Loftily poised in the ether capacious. Similar to a gem carbonaceous. Did you not understand that? Twinkle, twinkle, little star. Scintillate, scintillate, diminutive asteroid. How I meditate on your precise constitution. Loftily poised in the ether capacious, similar to a gem carbonaceous. Twinkle, twinkle, little star. How I wonder where you are. Up above the world so high, like a diamond in the sky. But I didn't get the message across, did I? So I used big words. So what techniques do you use to find the right words that you want to use? Well, here's some of the things. A simile. A simile is where you compare two dissimilar things. How often have you heard somebody described as being as solid as a rock? What's it mean? It means that somebody is quite settled and they're reasonable, you can't push them out of the way. Doesn't it? They're two different things, but they send the same message. The Australian cricket team played like a pack of school kids last week. Doesn't have to make sense, but it's two dissimilar things being compared. Okay, you can use that in your speeches, you can use it very well. Can you think of any others? There's got to be something else out there. Life is like an onion. You peel it one layer at a time, and sometimes you weep. They're all over the place. And then we can use metaphors, which are figures of speech where a phrase or saying is used to designate another. Such as the Australian cricket team is in a sea of trouble. Now, if you're going to use metaphors, they logically allow you to flow into others. You can then say, a storm the cricket team is going through, or the Australian cricket team is being battered by waves of issues. So you go from one metaphor to another, helps things tie together. So in that case, it was the sea of trouble, the storm they're going through, battered by waves of issues. That's logical, isn't it? It helps you when you're building your speech up. And there's onomatopoeia. Who's ever heard of onomatopoeia? Congratulations, you have now. It's the verb and dynamics of a speech, imitating the sound. Now that's a lot of big words, isn't it? When I grew up in school, they said it's the sound echoing the sense in poetry. For example, from the song of the cattle hunters, where the beat of the swift horse's feet. Can you hear the beat of the horse's feet? That's onomatopoeia, where the sound echoes something in your speech. And that can really be very powerful. And then we have alliteration. These are all big words, and I hate using big words, as you've already heard. But there's similar sounds at the beginning and the end of a sentence, as alluring as a lady in the lighthouse. Some examples are, don't delay dawn's disarming display. Careless cars cutting corners create confusion. Whispering winds whooshing wildly. It's all pretty nice, isn't it? You can do lots with words. Can't you do a lot with words? You can do what you want. And now we come to my favourite. Does anybody know what my favourite is? Triples. Triplets. Groups of three. Groups of 3 in power speeches. Abraham Lincoln in his inaugural speech said, "While I have that most solemn one to preserve, protect and defend." Winston Churchill in his famous blood, sweat and tears speech. Isaiah is the wage war by land, sea and air. John Kennedy when we choose to go to the moon speech. In short, our leadership in science and industry, our hopes for peace and security, our obligations to ourselves. Triplets. You see them? They add power. They add a lot of power. If you watch good speakers on TV, good politicians, you will see they use triplets all the time. It just adds power. Can you think of any triplets? Here's some. Damp, dank and wet. Shouting, screaming and noisy. Sobbing, crying and hurting. Illogical, they flow on, they have power. So try and make use of at least 1 or 2 triplets in every speech you have, because they absolutely add power. And always remember not to use unfamiliar, hard to pronounce or foreign words that you would not normally use. Generally, if you don't know the meaning of the word, don't use it. And don't use cliches. In fact, avoid cliches like the plague. You've got to get that. Don't use words, as I said, that you cannot pronounce. Long or confusing words. Crude, rude or vulgar language. It may be okay when you're sitting at the pub near the wharf, but it's not somewhere else and somebody will take offence to it. So be careful about the words you use. Don't say things that trivialise something. Don't say all, everybody knows, the vast majority. Ever hear those being said by people? Everybody does this. It's not true. It's never true. And some of your audience may not. And remember, words are the window to your soul. When making a speech, you need to use words. Do they need to be big words? No. Do they need to be hard to pronounce words? No. Do they need to be unusual or large words? No. You've heard many ways to select the best words or phrase. I'd like you, in your flawless, clever and radiant speeches of the future, to pick out and use powerful words and phrases. Use them frequently, but use them carefully, for they are very, very powerful. Mr. Cesco.